You're watching the Battered Fans Network.
Chris, the Herons are back. Welcome everybody to episode number 260 of the Battered Herons podcast. I am your host, Daniel Granada, and alongside me, I got Allison, and as always, Mr. KBD. How are you doing, sir?
I mean, have you heard? It's Campapi season, baby. Have you heard?
I'm ready for Mike V to come on here and start talking crap.
Listen, and not only that, I just since you're bringing up your baby, let me bring up my baby right here as we watch my son wearing the Campapi jersey after Campapi scores. So I had to put that up.
Yeah, no, I'm glad that for him that he finally got something going, because it's been a rough go for him so far this season, and I thought he had a bad game this year. I mean, this today. So
yeah,
I'm glad that he salvaged it because I didn't think it was a very good performance up until that point. Ooh, okay.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And the baby, she's beautiful, bro.
Thank you.
And we have 71 points now because of Campana.
That's it. Campana salvaged it because it was, he didn't humble me. He had a bad game, but he made a nice play. He's a backup striker, which I'm glad he did what he was supposed to do. He's a backup striker. He got the point, and that's good.
And on top of that, you mad? You big mad?
Absolutely not. Why would I be mad? I'm glad that we won. I put money on the game. I needed us to win. All right. All right. Somebody's coming to take up. Say bye. Bye, baby. All right, here we go.
No, baby. No.
All right, puppy.
Hey, Jackson.
All right. Everybody's in. All right. So, no, I am not upset that Campana scored. I'm happy that he scored.
Yeah.
Tank, shut the fuck up. Eat crow. Just because he scored a goal?
The last second in the dying embers.
He scored a goal. He had a bad game, but he salvaged it with a goal. Eat crow. So
I mean, look, that's I guess that's the gist of the game.
It was a boring game. Like,
it was an awful game.
This is going to be probably the shortest post game we've ever done because there's not much to talk about. Mm-hmm. There was no attack on either side of the pitch. It was a boring game.
Yeah, but Angel saying here the winning goal
for sure. You got to give him credit. Look, he's a backup striker. He's not DP worthy. He had a bad game, but he scored when it mattered. So shout out to him. Oh yeah.
This is the conversation I think. This is the conversation I think that nobody is really ready to have.
I think he had a great game, and as the season has progressed, he's looked better and better in that role.
Yes.
And you know who has put him in that role? Who believed in him in that role?
Tata.
That was a good Tata move. For all you Tata haters.
He's been believed in Noah Allen. Believed in him.
100%. So I thought Allen had a big game. He had a big block on a really good opportunity inside the box in the second half. Overall, Noah Allen had himself a really good game.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I guess we're getting to our man of the match other than Messi already, but I mean, that's basically it, guys. Show's over. 5 minutes record.
And Mez, just look. I'm tired of Campana playing bad. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
But it's crazy. You say this person's playing bad, and all of a sudden everybody's ready to throw it in your face, like you weren't saying the same thing. But regardless, I promise you that if Luis Suarez is playing central striker, he scores before the 94th minute because Campana had a few opportunities with a couple through balls that he didn't know how to handle and tripped over himself. Luis Suarez handles those balls and puts them in the back of the net.
That play that it looked like he tripped over, he's the one that kind of cooked that whole play, though, Danny. If you look back at it, he went back to the midfield, passed it to one player, made a run, got it, passed it to another player, made a run, and then it just so happens he wasn't able to collect it to put it away. He cooked that whole play.
And then, in the Discord earlier today, I was talking, and then I said that the one person that scared me on the team was Prince. And Allen did a good job. But the first time that we played them, Prince was bodying Noah Allen because Prince is a big dude. Owusu, I think is his name, Prince Owusu.
Yes.
He's a big dude. And he bodied him the first game. Noah Allen did a much better job this time. But I thought that Prince played a pretty decent game himself.
Yeah.
So
A lot of people are saying that Campana was just terrible. He was bad. He was awful.
He didn't have a good game, but all of that goes away when you have the game-winning goal.
LaRuo said it best. We don't care who cooked. How does the food taste?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
I mean, guys, just get ready. This is going to be the quickest post game ever.
yeah, it's not going to be very long. I mean, we can run through it. It was so bad, and look, I think you guys know already that I usually, okay, I don't know what that's about.
As Danny reads, somebody saying, "I'm sorry, Yankee. I am CF Cap, F you or F off." A shit stadium and team. Sorry, but fact.
Okay, well, they start playing in the playoffs today, so I'm looking forward to watching them today. Today was so boring. I didn't even feel like making a graphic. So at halftime, I just screenshotted this. I didn't even want to waste. Like, this game was so boring. I'm not even gonna make a graphic.
Yeah.
So this is from Foot Mob. This is first half, and they don't even have the correct alignment here. They were playing basically with 5 in the back. Noah Allen was not the right back. He was the left center back.
Left center mid.
I don't know what.
Yeah, that's center back.
Everybody that told me that Foot Mob was crap. I don't know. After seeing this, maybe they're right. But I felt like it was 5 in the back with Cromaki and David Ruiz in the midfield, and then Rojas, Campana, and Taylor up top. I don't know how you saw it, but that's how I saw it.
Well, I mean, as you can see here, it's set up as a 4-3-3, but it's not. It was essentially like a 5-2.
I think so. I think this is the worst game of the season.
5-2-3, I guess.
I thought that's what I thought. I saw Negria as the left wing back, Russell as a right wing back, Allen, Aviles, and Christoph as the center backs, David Ruiz and Cremaki in the midfield, and then Taylor left wing, Campana striker, and Rojas right wing. That's how I saw it.
This is what I was saying, Tanks. A 5-2-2-1, I guess. I don't think it was a 3-4-3. Well, I mean, it could be a 3-4-3, I guess.
It depends on how you look at the wing backs. If you since they play so high, you can consider them part of the midfield. Regardless, it was a really boring game. The first half was really bad. As you can see, these were I took the screenshot at halftime. These were the ratings that they gave the players at halftime. As you can see, Noah Allen was the only one that looked like he had a good game in that first half. It was just really bad. Taylor was invisible. Rojas was invisible. It was just bad.
Somebody said Ustadi had like an 8.4 rating.
Maybe at the end of the game. I don't know.
SoFlo or Fuck Mob. I mean, 8.4 rating. I mean, listen, he made a couple.
8.4.
Yeah, 8.4. Like,
he was the highest rated player in the game.
I mean, he made a couple of. He made a couple saves, but I mean, he didn't it wasn't any calendar type of saves.
Yeah, I didn't think it was anything dangerous. I mean, there was one, but I think it was going to be offside anyway, so it wouldn't have counted.
Yes, and they blew it anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. OIRAD Sports Film says, okay, goalkeeper didn't have to do anything. Yeah.
Neither one of them did.
People are still saying here 71 because of Campana. Yeah. And look, Adarsh, I'm not saying he wasn't good. I'm just saying that he didn't make like these standout plays to be earning 8-point plus.
Who, Astadi?
Yeah.
Ustadi.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that he was rated that high.
I don't know. I mean,
he didn't have a bad
clean sheet. I guess that's why
he didn't have a bad game. I've never seen Drake get something that high, and Drake's had some pretty decent games.
Yeah, I mean, look, when we were looking at when I was watching the game, I was like, "Ooh, this is gonna be a good one." Made my bet, 2.5 plus goals. That one blew, right? I didn't get to do that.
When are you gonna stop betting on Inter Miami?
It was a $2 bet. I mean, look, I lost $2. It's okay, no big deal. People lose $2 over all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, but we're losing games because of you.
What? We won this game because of me. No. Are you kidding me? I wore this shirt.
All right. Tank saying movement, positioning, ball control, passing, communication, leadership, assertiveness all showed why he is class. What the hell is he talking about there?
I don't know who the hell he's talking about. I mean, who are you talking about there?
Tank, who are you talking about there? This is the
movement, positioning, ball control, passing, communication, leadership, assertiveness all showed why he is class. I mean, are you talking about Campana?
I'm not sure.
Is he talking about Campana? Is he talking about I don't know?
Oh, you're talking about Ustari. I mean, I guess like there was no threat to him at all. I don't understand why you're hyping him up as far as like his positioning and whatnot, communication. Like there was nothing to communicate about. They never got in the final third. Both teams were horrible in the final third.
Yeah.
So, all right. And then I see that there's somebody in here that I guess wants to defend. I don't know if Luis Suarez is honored because people are giving Campana the credit instead of Luis Suarez. So let's let him on here because I think he wants to speak his mind for a couple minutes to talk about Campana. So here he is, Mr. Daniel Solano. What's going on? You want to hate on Campana?
Good afternoon, fellas. I don't want to hate on Campana, but come on, man. My son could have made that goal. I mean, literally.
He literally had to cock his leg back.
That was a nice goal. That was a nice goal.
Dude, Suarez, I mean, yeah, it was a nice goal, but Suarez put it on his leg. If he doesn't score that, you leave him in Toronto. Let's go. Come on, man. Come on. Look, in all honesty, for all those folks that had said over the last month, oh, Inter Miami is better without Suarez. Inter Miami's better without Messi. I mean, the first
they're crazy. They're crazy.
Clearly showed you that that's just absolute nuts.
Well, I think you're nuts for saying that was an easy goal, though.
Yeah, that's a little. It's
no,
a little touchy.
Man, come on, man. You're a crazy person. No,
wait, hold on.
He had to receive that ball, control it while he had two defenders on him, and then finish. Come on, man. That wasn't.
You've been given a red card by Tank, and then, but you got Athar Akbar. He's on your side. Stancy is laughing. I mean, True Co is that was a beautiful goal.
No, hey, don't get me wrong.
Are you at Ruth's Chris?
No, actually, so you guys can see. I actually told Danny I'm going to be doing an asado for the fam a little later. There's my barbecue. There's my parrillada. Nice. So I'm outside here in the backyard and getting ready to do a little asado. But dude, guys, honestly, yeah, it was a nice goal. It wasn't. I'm not taking anything away from the goal. But what I'm saying,
yes, you are. You said it was easy.
It was, man. He had to stop it.
You take it away from it.
No, man, it was a nice goal. But, I mean, if he doesn't get that just goes to show you, if he doesn't get the ball inside the box by himself, Campana doesn't do anything, man. Everybody who's been asking for Campana to start over Suarez over the last month, it has something wrong in their head, bro. Suarez comes in for 20 minutes and literally puts in 2 or 3 balls, and we're ready to score.
Now, let me take the other side on this because Campana did start that play the way he gave the ball back to Suarez, right? Suarez gave it to him, and then he gave it right back to him out at the left wing. Now, Suarez did deliver the ball for the goal, but I mean, Campana had a lot to do with that buildup also.
Yeah, he did. He did. I mean, he did give the ball to Suarez. Suarez gave it back. He passed it back, and he made the correct run to go to the penalty spot. But, I mean, the ball had to be perfect for him to be able to score that. But what did he do until then? Like, he was stuck. It literally looked like he played like Higuain back 2 years ago. He was in the midfield all game, trying to look for the ball. He wasn't a number 9. And if you're going to put him as a number 9, he's got to stay up there. He was absolutely awful.
No, look, I do agree that he didn't have a good game. We were saying before you got on here, we said he didn't have a good game, but he salvaged that game with the huge goal.
Suarez salvaged the game by putting the pass.
Well, listen. The rule is saying that your kid must be really good. Tata needs to sign him before it's too late.
Yeah, I've been saying my kid's good, bro. He scored 8 goals yesterday in his game. So he has 8 goals yesterday, 9 goals the week before, and 12 the week before that. So, bro, Tata, I mean, I'm telling you, my son might be better than Campana at this age. At least he makes the right runs that Campana doesn't make.
Look, I'm not going to shit on Campana that much. I think he's a great backup. And but I did think he had a bad game today. But for everybody that said that I'm eating crow, I don't agree because I do think he's had a bad season. I think he had bad. So overall thoughts on the game, Solana. I know you said you're gonna go back to your cookout or whatnot, but before you head out? What are your overall thoughts on the game?
I'll put it this way, bro. My pops fell asleep in the 34th minute. My son fell asleep in the 42nd minute. I mean, luckily I was able to stay up, the entire game. But it was a boring game, man. And look, I'm not surprised. Come on, we started with basically almost the entire backups. And like I saw some tweets. those guys haven't gotten a lot of practice time together, playing together. So it was kind of expected, right, guys? I mean, we kind of expected if the backups were to play something like this. And the fact that they were able to pull out the 3 points and keep the points record alive is huge. So not a good game, but you got the 3 points, which is something that you hadn't gotten in the prior, other than the game against the last game, you hadn't done in the prior 3 games. You had tied those games in similar fashion. Now it was time for Inter Miami to get lucky and get the goal in the 94th minute.
Yeah.
Adarsh is requesting to just end the show at this point. I do agree. I do agree that Suarez gave him a golden pass, but it looked like a half scissors kick.
It was a half volley.
Yeah, it was like a half volley, half no sé qué cosa, and that was.
But he drove it into the ground, so that he drove it into the ground, so it would make it more difficult for the goalie to get a hand on it. And Sean Johnson is a great goalkeeper, so to get that past Sean Johnson, I think is a great deal. So
yeah.
All right.
And then LaRue is saying that you're giving us free comedy with a straight face. You appreciate it.
Bro, Danny's always said it. I might talk completely out of my ass, but what I say, I believe it. It might be
100%. Yeah, but, look, and I've always said it. I said, and a lot of time, most of the time, I disagree with Solana. I think he talks a lot of crap because I don't believe half the shit he says. Well, I don't agree with half the shit he says, but I give it to him because he believes that crap. So I'll give it to him. Yeah, he has a very unique way of thinking.
And he has people in the chat that are agreeing with his point. So
nobody's agreeing with that.
I brought up at least 2 people that agreed with Solana. So you can't take that away from him. I mean, I think that it was a pretty hard goal to make. But at the same time, I don't know if it was that. I mean, it didn't look that easy, Solana.
I mean, yeah, you have to have a little bit of skill. He stopped it with his left foot, kind of like his knee or whatever. And then he had a really nice finish. But I mean, you can't take away from the pass. Without that pass, he doesn't do that. And that's just all I'm saying. I'm not saying you got to thank Suarez for everything. Obviously, it's 50-50. But if Suarez doesn't put that ball on his leg like he did, Campana showed the entire game that he couldn't do anything. So Suarez left him alone in front of the goal. Campana's finished it, 50-50. But come on, bro. To just say Campana saves Miami and all that. Dude, he played 93 minutes of straight ass. And it took a magical ball by Suarez to put him in the perfect spot for him to score. So I'll throw him his flowers for getting the goal, but the goal comes all from Suarez. I'm sorry.
There's been a handful of games where Suarez has also had poor games, but then he puts one in and it kind of saves it. I mean, that's what strikers do. All right.
Seems like everybody wants me out, so I'll let you guys continue without me.
They want you to cook. They want you to cook on your 1800s. Mr. Krabsky's mentioning that you have an 1800s grill.
No, dude, this is an actual real grill. You cook. I mean, you guys can see it. You cook with actual, wood and stuff like that. And I haven't put it up yet, but in about 10 minutes, I'm gonna light it up. So, it's gonna be good. If you fellas want to come over, I'll hit you up later.
Look at this guy with the pistolero shirt. I see it.
Yeah, man, I put it up. I put it on just because I actually had a battered heron shirt on, and I said, nah, with that assist, I'm gonna throw the Suarez shirt on. Got to throw it
with the assist. It had to be the assist.
It had to be it's the assist. That's it.
There we go. Batterfans.com. So serving everybody from Campapi to Suarez.
To Solana.
All right. All right, Solana. Well, appreciate you jumping on and trashing on Campana for a little bit.
No problems, man. Still love him, man. Congrats to him. He got called up to the national team.
That's it. He did.
That's dope.
All right, man. All right. So here we go. So we put up the starting lineup already, and we can run through the game pretty quickly because, well, let's talk overall because nothing happened in the first half.
Yeah, exactly.
Nothing happened in the attacking third for either team. It was turnovers. It was just a mess. Like, I don't even know how else to say. It was a mess. You could tell that these players hadn't played with each other very often, and it was just a messy game overall. At least, especially that first half. At halftime, what did you think? What were you expecting a win? Were you like, you know what, this might end in a draw? We might lose. Were you questioning if we were going to see Messi and Suarez at all?
So I was still imagining that we were going to win because we still had Messi, Busquets, and Suarez, and even Alba on the bench. No, I mean, I believe we had. Yeah.
This is the first game that Jordi Alba misses just
completely.
coach's decision.
Yes.
Yeah, but not off
Yeah.
of injury or suspension. He just misses, which I think is good for him because
Yes.
he literally has played every game.
I still thought that we were going to win because those guys were going to get on the pitch. Now,
Okay.
the one thing that I was disappointed in, just to give you my level in terms of Campana, I
Mhm.
was kind of sad because he was given the captain's armband. I think it was his first time ever with the captain's armband. And this is a game where it's kind of like, I don't know, I felt like maybe Tata was kind of telling him, like, this is your game to own. And at that point, that I couldn't really blame him because there wasn't enough connecting passes to get him through, ahead. But at the same time, I was like, okay, if these guys come in, he's going to stay on the pitch. He might have better opportunities. So I still thought that we were going to win. And the pitch was awful, by the way.
Well, I was going to ask that because I've seen a few people bring up the pitch. Now, I was watching the game with my daughter, so sometimes I'd have to like get her to stop crying. So I didn't notice anything about the pitch. What was it about the pitch that everybody keeps talking about?
Yeah, I mean, it looked tore up. It looked like
I didn't notice that.
It looked like it looked like there were people that were playing on it within the past 48 hours or something like that. I don't know who. I think they mentioned it at some point in the broadcast. I just don't remember what it is that they had mentioned.
Oh, I didn't realize it.
Yeah, I mean, it looked terrible. I mean, it looked like real grass, right? It wasn't like turf or anything, but
I didn't. I mean, off of just watching it and I guess not really focusing in on it. Hey, look, and Stan saying I'm blind. Maybe I didn't notice it. As you can see, when I got the little baby with me, like I focus in on the players, and I guess I didn't notice the grass. I don't know. That's
I
my
mean,
fault.
There was people like Dasaga Dedi saying more soil on the pitch. Tag is saying the dead grass was weird. Maybe it's been too cold. That could be a possibility because my son was asking, why are people wearing jackets? I looked at the weather and it was like 64 degrees there. So it's
my
comfy.
Wife, no, 64 isn't cold at all. My wife asked the same
comfy.
thing.
It's comfy.
But it shouldn't affect the grass.
No, not. It's cold. What if it rained?
64?
I don't know, man. I don't know how the weather and meteorology works. I mean, you're gonna sit there and act like 64 degrees doesn't affect the breathability of grass?
No.
I'm gonna Google that.
Please
and
do.
Google's gonna give me a good answer.
And maybe if you're talking about like the 30s and 40s, but not 64. Like I understand that here in Miami, you get to 64 and people are throwing their Uggs on, but like in reality, it's not that bad. Anyway, so at halftime for those of you in the chat, did you think that we would still win? And did you think that we were going to see Messi? Because I thought Messi was going to come in. Once I heard that he traveled, I knew he would come in. And I figured it would be around the 60th minute. And I much like you, I thought we would win. So I thought we would win. I thought Messi would come in, and I thought Messi would have the game-winning goal.
I wanted
them to keep cementing the MVP thing. That's what I was hoping for.
So it says a temperature of 68 degrees Fahrenheit is generally considered a comfortable temperature for grass growth. Most grass types grow best within a range of 55 to 85 degrees. That's talking about grass growth.
So imagine, if that's for growth. If it's just to care for it, I'm sure 64 is fine. Like that had no bearing on the pitch.
Yeah, I mean, it says grass generally 50 to 55 degrees Fahrenheit or reach above 90 degrees Fahrenheit is bad.
When the second half started and you saw that they put in Owusu, Prince, were you at all worried that they were going to score? Because I was. I thought like, they might get one. They might get one.
I was, because Kristoff is big enough to stop him, but too slow to catch up. Noah Allen is very fast to catch up to him, but not as big bodied to be able to fend him off.
Here's a fun tidbit for those of you now that Peach is saying Battered Heron's gardening tips. Just so you know, Chris is obsessed with his lawn and maintaining it and cutting the grass.
I love that.
Chris
Therapeutic.
is doing all that stuff. Yeah, and he likes to compete with his neighbors. So just so you know.
Yes. But he always had my number. He's the best.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I thought that Noah Allen has been showing more than enough effort to be able to show that he can compete against bigger bodied strikers. So
I think it's the height with this kid with the Prince that worried me.
yeah.
Off of a cross or a header or something like that. All right, 61st minute, we got Messi and we got Busquets coming in for David Ruiz and invisible Robert Taylor, because Robert Taylor really didn't do anything today.
Yeah.
Once they came in, obviously Busquets helps connect the back line to the forwards a lot easier, right?
Yeah.
And Messi's Messi. When that happened, I thought we were going to win for sure.
Well, I didn't think
he owns a trucking company.
I don't own. First of all, I don't own a trucking company. I work as a safety manager for a trucking company. I do not drive a truck. No. When I saw those players coming in, Messi and Busquets, I thought that things were going to pan out better. But again, I feel like at that point, even Messi was still trying to kind of get comfortable with it. He was getting sort of attacked by a lot of defenders. He wasn't able to kind of open up space or anything like that. But you did start to see that the team started to get a little bit more comfortable.
Were you worried when they stopped and they clipped Messi on his ankle?
Oh, yes.
That challenge?
Yes.
When I saw that, I was waiting for everybody to be like, this is why we don't play Messi. What is Tata doing? And I was waiting for all those things to happen. Luckily, he was okay. But that is the worry, right? Because these games are meaningless. Yes. Like, I understand that a lot of people want. And by the way, I heard that I heard from a birdie that they are aware of the record and they want the record. Like, this isn't like they're talking about it. They want it. So, they're going to go for it on next Saturday or in 2 Saturdays from now when they play against New England.
It's going to be a blast. And the fact that you're going to be taking it from the same team that holds that record, I think that's even better.
You think there's
they're a dumpster fire at this point.
I know that they use they use some type of program to set up these schedules every year, the regular season. But they get to pick and choose certain things. Do you think they purposely put New England as the last game of the year in case a situation like this happens? Because I felt like it's almost way too perfect the way it kind of ended up.
I don't think so.
You think it's just a pure coincidence that the team that holds the record is the one that's in the way of Miami?
You think they would have predicted Messi missing so many games? You think that they would have predicted Messi? I mean, he missed a lot of games. You'd have to contribute that.
I think if they would have thought he was going to miss it, maybe they wouldn't think about it anymore. But I really do think that they thought that Inter Miami would be close to breaking the record at this point. And let's put in New England as the final team. I'm not saying that happened. I'm just saying, putting on my tinfoil hat.
But what you're doing is you're going to feed a lot of the people that are watching this that are going to basically say now MLS is fixing everything for Inter Miami.
No,
I mean, Althar Akbar is asking.
How is that possible? Because you know that you have to play against New England. You have to play them twice a year. So you set it up as the last game, just in case Miami has a chance to break their record. You break it against them. It's not impossible to do. And I'm not saying that that's what happened. I'm just saying that it's a pretty cool coincidence. I wonder if anybody put some thought into that when they were finalizing the schedule. That's all.
Yeah, I figured that at the end, if they were going to be, I figured that they would have gotten the record before the last game.
Okay. Well, if they didn't get that NYCFC late goal by Sands against them, I think they would have broken it, right?
Yeah, I think
they would have tied it today. They would have tied it. They would have gotten
because. Oh, that's right. Yes,
they would have tied it. But then all they needed is a draw in 2 weeks.
Wait, hold on. But Althar Akbar is asking, doesn't the schedule come in the beginning? It does.
Yeah. But New England already had the record. That's what I'm saying. That they would, at the beginning of the year, you predict, Inter Miami, that's a good team. They might be so good, they might break the record. Well, who holds the record? New England. Well, let's put that as the last. I'm not saying that that's what happened. I'm saying this is how it could possibly happen. Let's put that as the last game of the year to make it very dramatic. They break the record while playing the last decision day against the best team, the team that has it. Again, this is just me spitballing here. We literally have nothing to talk about in this post game. I'm just throwing out conversation here, guys. I'm sorry. Let's just wrap it up now, Chris, because there's nothing else to talk about.
Shady B is asking, the question would have been winning the Shield over Columbus. That's more tinfoil than that.
You know what I was thinking today? this board fest that they gave us on a Saturday, basically standalone game at 4:00 before the season over. They review every schedule to see where people play, when they play, and things like that. They do that in every sport. If you see Columbus, Miami towards the end of the season, why on earth would you make that a Wednesday game and then make Toronto a 4:00 Saturday game? You should have flip-flopped those. Like, could you imagine that game standalone right now? If we would have just got done watching that game right now, everybody that's waiting to watch their team at 7:00 would have been watching it. I mean, it would have been great.
Well, yeah, if they would have flipped those games, it would have been better. Absolutely. And Richard Greenberg saying that was an Inter Miami home game. Happy I didn't go today. It was the last home game, though, for you guys, though, Greenberg.
That was the last game for them, period. They're done. Toronto season's over. They have their bye week next week, so they're done. Their season's over. If they don't make the playoffs, then they just watched their team for the last time today.
I guess we could talk a little bit about this. Mike V is saying, but he did make normal subs as he should every game. I think it's easy to make early subs when you have people like Messi, Busquets, Suarez, and Alba, and other studs on the bench.
Yeah, he was putting on his big-time players.
Yeah, so I think it's easy to go to the bench and pull your best players versus pull your best players off the pitch or pull better players off the pitch for your backup players.
I guess Dennis is saying that this is why they didn't do the Columbus game on Saturday, college football. I still would have done it, because if they took this Toronto Miami game and put it purposely at 4:00 to be standalone.
Yeah.
You'll have a better chance of getting more fans to watch that. The Columbus against Miami over college football than you have Toronto Miami. Like a lot of people watched it, and if they were watching it, they tuned out pretty quickly because it was a very boring game.
Well, and Mike V still saying Tata out.
Well, okay. Well, I'll give Mike V this. Yannick Bright and Luis Suarez came on in the 71st minute. For some reason, they kept Campana on with Suarez. I thought they would go double strikers, right? Double nines up top. Yeah. They didn't. They had Suarez playing wide left. Why on earth would you put Suarez out there? If Suarez would have been in the box to receive some of those passes that Campana was getting before, obviously, the last one that he finally put in, I think Suarez finishes one or two of those. Like, why did you put Suarez out there? So, no, I'm not Tata out, but I am questioning Tata's decision to put Suarez out wide. Suarez isn't that effective. I mean, he had a great ball in, I guess, technically, for that assist. So, yeah, I guess he did that, but I would have put Suarez out wide.
I wonder if this is true. Richard Greenberg saying the game was originally at 7:30. Moved it a couple weeks ago.
The only non-7:30 start we had was against NYCFC. That one, the NYCFC 2:00 game was scheduled since the beginning of the year. That Toronto one, they moved it 2 weeks ago.
Somebody had mentioned that the game October 19th is going to be a crazy game. I just looked at StubHub for the game against New England, and the cheapest ticket right now, it's at $92, 2 sections over to the right of us on the south stand.
What did I do now? I did. Thanks, saying I need to show Campana some respect. I did. I said he scored that goal.
It was a great goal. It was
a great goal.
But before that,
before that, it wasn't very good. But Solana was the one that was trashing your boy. He said that was an easy goal.
Yeah, that children could perform that goal. Which I get it. I'm very much like that, where I just knee jerk and say things like that. But that was a pretty tough executing goal.
Yeah, so, man, that was. And then on top of that, it's not like some people score volleys or half volleys when they have space around them. He had 2 defenders on him, and he still did that. That's very impressive. That was a good. Campana is a very solid backup.
And my name is JF is asking, is Messi back from Argentina to play in that New England game?
Yes. Messi will play that game.
He will be, yes.
And Tank said that I said Suarez would have put away other chances over Campana. Yes, I did say that. I think one of the things when it comes to any striker, not just Campana, and one goes saying Solana has athletic children. Yeah. I think one of the things about strikers or attackers is that
if they have a bad to decent game, especially for a person that was a DP that you expect a little bit more from, then they're seen a little bit more poorly. But then a goal in the last minute saves him.
Mm-hmm.
It shouldn't save the whole performance. And look, to defend Campana, I don't think that there was enough to connect him to be able to score anyways.
Albo was not suspended. This was strictly rotation. They let him. So we're gonna ask the one world, one goal Italia question.
Yes.
What was your moment of the match? I'm gonna give you mine. It was when that final whistle blew, and Thomas Aviles did not have a yellow card.
That is a great moment of the match. That is a great moment. As a matter of fact, my moment of the match was towards the end of the game as well. It was off of a Noah Allen sliding tackle
that
where
block.
he got but it was two of them. So I guess moments, and it's the same player. He had the block in the middle, and then towards the end of the game, he had another block where he put himself in great position, and he got super hyped off of both of them.
Yeah, I really like when he started yelling. I was like, yeah, give me that. I love players that show that emotion.
Yeah. MIV saying children can grill on Solana's 1920 stove. Listen, I would love a 1920 stove, Mike.
Yo, those are the real ones. When you go to those pizza spots in New York and they got like the brick grill,
brick ovens.
Those are that's it right there. All right, so we went through a boring ass game. Go ahead.
No, he's cooking off of what our ancestors cooked off of. You got like a whirlpool machine in your house, Mike.
Yeah, no. When you doing it with the wooden fire instead of that gas, I'm telling you, it's different.
Yeah.
All right. I guess we've gone through the game. There's not really too much else to talk about. I guess who gets the Campana award? Who had the Campana performance of the game?
So the Campana performance of the game out of the starters, I'm just going to pull the starters up here. It's sad to say, but I feel like a couple people, Danny, can get the Campana award on this list. And I think if he didn't score, it would have been Campana. If he didn't score, it would have been Campana. Probably. But I think that's what salvages him. If that's his rating now, or what's his rating on FootMob? So he has an 8.1. This was you took this during the game. This is a halftime. So that goal shot him up almost 2 full points. Okay. I would say
he was touching the ball a lot more in the second half. That'll give him. He was dropping back and he was touching the ball a lot more in the second half. Like Solana said, that's not what you want from your number 9. But I understand if you're a number 9 and you're not receiving any service, you go back and you look for the ball. So I don't blame him for that. So I think maybe his rating might have been a little higher because he was touching the ball quite a bit. And I see some people saying Gressel. I thought Gressel had a pretty good game. Considering the ugly performance. Consider the horrible performance. I thought Gressel had a decent game.
And let's not forget, guys, Gressel essentially was playing like a right wing back. Mm-hmm. Noah Allen was not playing right back, like this graphic says. Yes. Okay.
That's my fault. I was lazy. When I saw how boring this game was, I didn't feel like putting up the graphic. That's my fault.
Well, whatever. Who cares? This game was a disaster anyway. My Campana award would have to go to, and it's 2 players, and they're right down here. Either Taylor or Kremaki. One of those 2 players.
I thought you were going to go Taylor or Rojas.
Well, I didn't want to go Rojas.
I would have gone all 3 people up top. If it wasn't for Campana scoring, I would have said all 3 up top.
Well, yeah, but I mean, who's giving him service? Ben Krem wasn't exactly, camming for the team either, right? I mean, David Ruiz showed more creativity, and he was behind Ben Krem. So I can't blame the top 3. See, look, so Miami Kings saying Gressel, Benja, Campana, Taylor, but Gressel played right wing back.
And Campana was the striker, and he scored that final goal. Once you get that game-winning goal, I think automatically that takes you off of that. Me personally, I think that automatically removes you from that.
But the thing is, when you don't have productivity in a soccer match, right? Wouldn't you attest that to your midfield? Because if the center backs are connecting with the midfielders, but the midfielders aren't connecting to the attacking third, then there's no other way that you can go about it other than to say the midfield did not do their job.
Yeah, Kremaki and Ruiz had some rough game. Had a rough game.
I think if I was to give it to anybody, I'd probably give it to Ben Krem. Unfortunately, because he did show in the second half a little bit more force, and he was throwing his body a little bit. And I love that he just has nonstop energy. But at the same time, dude, he just wasn't doing what was necessary from that position. He wasn't posueloing. He wasn't messying. He wasn't connecting anything.
Mm-mm.
We were going back to the Neville wing game without Neville.
And we couldn't do anything out there.
Exactly. Even Negri was confused out there.
Mm-hmm.
So I would have to say I'd have to go with Ben Krem. So short answer, long, Ben Krem.
One more thing I want to bring up about the game before we talk about the man of the match other than Messi. Tomas Aviles. I said in moment of the match where he didn't get a yellow. I thought he should have gotten a penalty. He should have got a penalty called on him.
Yes, absolutely.
Etienne was dribbling up the touchline, and he gets past Tomas Aviles, and Tomas Aviles literally pushes him with two hands.
Yeah, like, what are you doing, bro? You're caught in 4K.
How did he not get called for a penalty there? Literally pushed him out of bounds with two hands. And nobody, the announcers didn't bring it up. Was I the only one that saw it? Did anybody in the chat see that?
Because no, I saw it. He shoved him.
That was a clear penalty. I'm sorry. He shoved him two-hand push off the ball. Like, where's your head at?
Oh, no. Marasov is saying it was a gentle push. This guy bully pushed him.
He literally shoved him out of bounds while he was dribbling on the ball. Like, that was so dumb.
Yeah, it was awful.
No, I thought that was really a poor job by him.
So my guy that I picked for Campana is Ben Krem, unfortunately.
Miami King said he has no brakes.
Yeah,
he's a locomotive. He's
all go, bro. He's all go, which I love. I love
it. Yeah, me too. Just give him a little more technical skills. He'll become a Diego Gomez, because Diego Gomez still. I personally don't think Diego Gomez is good in the final third.
No,
but getting to the final third, he'll get there. Like box to box, he gets the ball and he'll get to the final third. Just he gets a little lost when he gets there. But Kremaki, man, gets a locomotive.
I think if you were to make a baby off of a David Ruiz and Ben Krem DNA, you would have a dangerous footballer.
Yes. I like that.
So that's my guy. Who you going with the Campana award?
I told you, Taylor and Rojas.
So you're giving it to the double wingers. Yeah.
I thought that they did nothing. Honestly, I really did. And a lot of people saying that Toto thing was a soft push. Maybe it was. I didn't think it was a soft push. But even if it's a soft push, why would you even take that chance?
Yeah,
that's the thing. Because that's the thing. When you're in the box, why are you even going to take that chance? Why are you going to leave it to the referee to decide whether he wants to call that or not? That's the biggest problem here.
You're not even technically in the box. You're like 3 feet away from the goalpost. Like, what are you doing? You're 3 feet away from the goalpost. Like, nobody's going to see you, bro.
Yeah,
you're caught in 4K, my guy.
That scared me a bit.
Yeah,
that scared me a bit. Marofovic said it's because he's a honey badger. You ever heard that the honey badger is the most dangerous animal in the wild?
It is pretty dangerous. Yes, I've seen videos on it. I did a project about that.
Yeah, I heard that they're pretty wild. All right, so who was your MOTMOM? Man of the match other than Messi?
My man of the match other than Messi in the perfect world would be Campana, but it's not. My man of the match is that guy all the way in the back, Noah Allen. Man of the match other than Messi.
I'm going to agree with you.
Yeah, no, hands down. Flowers all day.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you. I think Noah Allen was the man of the match. I think Noah Allen needs to get a lot more credit for all the progress he's made. We've been saying it since, I want to say since like April or May.
Ustadi, bro.
A lot of people saying Ustadi.
I don't get it. I mean, look, clean sheet. Yes, he caught a couple balls in his chest, right? Clean sheet, and you caught a couple balls on the chest. Good job, buddy. You did what goalies are supposed to do, the bare minimum.
You know what? What's the Campana award? That's you had such a bad performance. All you do is say Campana. How embarrassing! How embarrassing! Campana. Ustadi, you know what this sounds like? What the chat is doing right now with Ustadi?
They're
It's what
backup
it's-
quarterbacking him.
No, it's what you and Solana did with CJ Dos Santos.
That's what the backup quarterbacking. That's what I call
That's
it.
what
The backup quarterback disease.
That's what they're doing right now. They're
Yeah.
like, he did it is clean sheet. Oh, that's it. This guy
Greatest.
is the man.
Greatest soccer goalie ever to grace a pitch.
All right, so we are 33 games into the season. We only have one regular season game to go. It will be in 2 weeks at home against New England. We are 21-8-4 to start the season. Would we have thought this? I don't think so. At least I wouldn't have. But it feels pretty damn good. Overall, how do you feel about the first 33 games of the season?
I feel great. And before I give you the rest of my thought, Mike V is saying Allen had a great game, but the man of the match has to be the guy that gives you the win. That's standard protocol written by the rule book of the Mike V franchise.
I don't know, because Noah Allen blocked a very clean opportunity from, I forgot who it was that had that shot, but he slid in and blocked it. And I mean, maybe Ustadi would have been man of the match and would have blocked it if he would have gotten the chance to block that, but he didn't even leave it up to chance. And Noah Allen made that big time play. So I think that was a big time play. But yeah, if you want to say Campana, I guess that makes sense also.
Just to get back to your question, listen, we're in first place in the league, supporter shield holders, 1 game away and 1 win away from holding the record for the most points all year. And we are guaranteed home field advantage all playoffs long until the championship. I don't think that you could ask for anything better at this point. What is better?
Well, there was a point where we thought we might get to 80 points. I guess that would have been better.
Yeah, I mean, but then now you're just getting greedy.
Yeah, 100%. Look, I'm okay with I'm okay where we're at, and I was okay not getting the record. I just wanted the supporter shield once it got to a place where it was like, oh, there's only 10 games left. It, go for it, you know. But I'm happy. Thought that coach of the year. I agree, and look, that's it. We got home field throughout the playoffs. Messi looks healthy right now. Looks like he's in his groove. So let's hope that we can just keep this and go with the playoffs. I think that's about it, man. I don't really got too much else to say.
I mean, the only other thing I could think of is Noah Allen. Are you guys ready to have that conversation about him being a starting center back?
He can't, he's not the starting center back. If David Martinez comes back,
it's taken.
David Martinez is going to have that spot. It's going to be David Martinez and Toto Aviles.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then if they go 3 in the back, it's going to be Busquets back there with them.
Yes, which is great.
And my understanding is that Martinez might be back for the playoffs. So, but if somebody goes down, I think you feel comfortable with Noah Allen coming in as the center back.
Oh yeah, to come in as relief or whatever, a couple minutes, I think he's perfect.
Were you disappointed that Ian Frey didn't get any play today?
No, because from what I saw before the game, if you look at some of the pictures of when they celebrated the supporter shield, the win against Columbus, he had ice on his knee. So it seemed like he wasn't really, I guess, physically fit. And listen, I prefer to hold on to him as much as we can. And if that meant taking a break in an away game, so be it. 2 weeks from now, he gets additional rest. He should be good.
Yeah. And then somebody's asking, what team do we play in the first round of the playoffs? As of right now, the teams 8 and 9 are going to play each other in a 1-game playoff to see who plays against us in the first round. And as of right now, Montreal and Toronto are those 2 teams. Toronto has 37 points, but they have no more games this season. They are officially done. So if Philadelphia or DC United get even a draw today or in 2 weeks, they'll move into that 9th spot. So I have a feeling we're not going to see Toronto because they have to literally hope that Philadelphia and DC United don't get not even a draw. And then Atlanta United could get a draw and a win, and they would also pass Toronto. So as of right now, it's going to be either Montreal or Philadelphia, DC United, or Atlanta. Because I have a feeling there's no chance we see Toronto.
Well, you know what that means. We're looking forward to a matchup where we got our old and new 8, 10, and 9 playing against each other. Bryce Duke and Joseph Martinez versus Messi and Suarez. Huh? Who would have thought that? You ready for that? Bryce Duke and Joseph matchup?
Yep. I'm ready for it. Look, I'd rather that than Philadelphia. That's for sure.
Yes. Yeah, fuck Philadelphia. I don't want that.
Well, I will tell you that it looks like Luis Suarez has no chance at the Golden Boot anymore. Benteke has 22 goals, and he has a game tonight. And in 2 weeks, Luis Suarez ended up with 18 with just one game to go. So it looks like Benteke will probably win the Golden Boot. So Luis Suarez made it a close, but that's not going to happen. Messi either. I don't think he gets 4 or 5 goals the last game either. I don't even think either one of them starts. I think he's going to come off the bench like they did today. So, it was nice. But we have plenty of time to talk about that. So this week, we're going to be coming on. I'm actually going to put up a graphic for those of you guys that follow us on Twitter with the schedule for this week. Because we're going to have a bunch of shows. We're going to have battered MLS fans. We're going to talk about why Messi. I'm going to make my case for Messi because a lot of people talking crap about how Messi. If you tell me that you don't think that Messi's going to win it and you feel like somebody else deserves it more, that's one thing. I'm okay with that debate. For you to say that people that say Messi should be considered are crazy, that's what I have an issue. To say that you're crazy because I'm saying that you should consider him. Personally, I think he should win it. But to say that you're crazy because you even consider it, I think you're crazy. And I'm going to make my case for Messi being the MVP on one of the shows this week. We're going to have some people on to talk Supporter Shield versus MLS Cup because that's been an interesting conversation. We have the MLS show coming up. We have a preview. Oh, wait, that's not this week. That's the following week. So we're going to have some shows. So I'm going to put out a schedule so you guys can join us. We're also going to be in Espanol Monday night at 10 o'clock as always. So make sure you join that. And I think that's my spiel, batteredfans.com for Campapi shirts, for Pistolero Luis Suarez shirts like Solano was wearing earlier. If you are interested in any other sport, we got shirts for those also. Here's the Yankee Seinfeld shirt. And batteredfans.com. If you're on here and you haven't already, please like and subscribe. I should have my Noah. I got a Noah Allen one that I should have just worn today, but I already had my Yankee shirt on. We got a Noah Allen one of those shirts also. All right. If you are listening on audio, we appreciate you listening all the way to the end. Please leave us 5-star comment, review, all other good stuff. If you are watching on YouTube, thank you for watching all the way to the end. Please like, subscribe, share, tell your friends. And as always, you guys are the best part of the show. Those of you in the chat, thank you for hanging out with us for the last 53 minutes. And we'll be back on Monday. Again, this week, we're going to be breaking down a lot of different things on a lot of different shows. So I'll put the schedule out tomorrow. Hope you guys hang out with us for all of those. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. That helps us out a bunch. And I think that's it, man. 1 game away from the record, 3 weeks away from starting the playoffs. It's going to be fun. The next couple, month and a half, 2 months is going to be really fun. What's today? October 5th?
October 5th.
Okay, December 7th is the final. So the next 2 months are going to be really fun. So we look out for that. And again, let's finish this with this gas bagging. It's not really gas bagging, but I put up on Twitter earlier today. Today is the 2-year anniversary of us beating Orlando 4-1 and clinching our first ever playoff spot. And I said that is the second loudest I have ever heard at that point. Drive Pink Stadium, now Chase Stadium. That is the second loudest I've ever heard. The atmosphere, that whole game was wild. Mm-hmm. The only time that I believe that it's been crazier and more hyped was for the Cruz Azul Messi debut game.
Yes.
Do you agree?
Oh, yeah. That game was on fire against Orlando. I mean, even just from the jump. I mean, from the video you guys saw.
Yeah.
Campana scoring that freaking half fielder.
He set the tone.
Yes.
He set the tone. That goal, the first, 30-something seconds? Like he set the tone, and then the stadium just stayed high the whole game. So that was absolutely awesome. And I personally, I think that was the second loudest. I think the Cruz Azul Messi debut might have passed it. Yeah, and that's one other thing I'm going to bring up. A lot of people are like, when they announced that the MLS changed the rule that the MVP needs to play a minimum of 1,000 minutes. And everybody's like, how nice. They changed the rule for Messi. Just so everybody is clear, before they made the specification, there was no minimum. So technically,
anybody could have gotten MVP.
You could have played 50 minutes and they couldn't given you MVP. Okay? So all they did was raise the minimum. Now, if you want to look at that as for some reason that helps Messi somehow, Sure, it's not like it went from 2,000 to 1,000. It went from literally nothing.
Everyone in the league.
Everybody can qualify as long as you played a minute. To now you have to play 1,000 minutes. How exactly that helps Messi, I'm not really sure. If anything, they made it a little more exclusive, right, by eliminating people that didn't play 1,000 minutes. So I just wanted to put that out there because I thought that was really silly that people are saying that.
And before we end the show, Tank is asking, Ustadi is the new MVP? Technically, he could be. Technically, he could be. Listen,
he has played a minute now, yeah.
Technically, Scheidner Borgelin could be MVP.
Has he played for us this year?
He still is a member on a MLS roster. Robbie Robinson could have been MVP earlier this year.
I think it's a little harder to sell for somebody that didn't play at all.
I'm just saying.
You're right.
They can be voted. They can be voted in. They can be elected.
It's going to be a lot of debating this week on our show, so I'm looking forward to it. So,
yeah.
Again, we appreciate you guys that hung out with us. Yes, Boatwright is a candidate. So, no, not anymore. Not anymore. He was before. Now you have to wait. You have to play 1,000 minutes. So there it is.
Yes.
And we'll leave. Yes. So we'll leave it with this right here. All right.
Yes.
Like we said, we appreciate you guys, and until the next one.